worked. The first like 3 times I went back for port, I was still bringing shit back. Now I'm like fully, you know, acclimated down here. But back then, that wasn't the case, right? So, either way, we get my shit, and we're packed up, and we go back to Cody's house, throw all the rest of the shit in his mom's SUV. Cody's brother hops in that car. Cody, myself, and Josh hop in the Honda, and we stash all our drugs in the trunk, right? We gummed a little bit of coke, and we decided we weren't going to do a ton. We weren't even going to bust out the lean yet, right? Like, we weren't going to do shit, right? We had a nice little pint with the seal uncracked. We were saving it, right? We were not going to crack that until we got to the house to celebrate, right? It was going to be like our champagne, our version of champagne. So, we hop on the road, right? And we've got a long drive ahead of us. We ended up hitting construction, so it ended up being over like 3 hours. But we hop on the road, and we're riding down there, right? And we get to this point where construction is down to 1 lane, and it's bumper to bumper as fuck. Like, it's really bumper to bumper. And we put all the drugs in the trunk just to be safe. Like, we were like, you know, if we get pulled over, it would be smart of us to put drugs in the trunk. But very quickly, we were like, fuck that. That's stupid. Let's go get the drugs right now, right? So, we come to a point where we're completely stopped because of construction. And I hop out of the car, and Josh pops the trunk, and I go around to the back. The only drugs we had on us was a small amount of blow that we ran out of, like, by this point, right? We were just saving it to keep us awake because we barely fucking slept the night before. We were so excited about this whole prospect of moving out, particularly Cody and myself, right? Josh, not so much. He slept. But Cody and myself, we were just too hype about it. We couldn't sleep. So, either way, we go, and the trunk is popped, and I grab this fucking duffel bag that's just stuffed with drugs and clothes, close the trunk, hop back in the car, just in broad fucking daylight, right? Get back in the car, and now it's party time, right? I put the duffel bag down next to me, and right next to me, there's just a pile of, like, equipment. We have a computer, we have my PC, along with everyone's game consoles stacked up. One of my monitors was on top, right? The other one was wrapped in a blanket in the trunk, right? Like, dude, holy shit. This car, it was ridiculous. It looked like we actually just robbed, like, a tech store. Like, there was just PlayStations on fucking monitors, on fucking PCs. We were just going, dude. We were gone, right? So, either way, we're all stacked up in this car, and I'm opening this duffel bag, trying to sift through it and find our shit. And I pull out a little more blow, right? And I kind of ration it out. I put it in the previous bag, which is empty. And then I also grab out our bud and our blunt. And I pass some bud up to Cody, and he rolls one up. And then I roll one in a Frisbee that was for some reason in the bag. I didn't know that I owned any Frisbees, and I don't really remember putting this in there. So I fucking Houdini might have put this in my bag. Maybe it was like the lucky cocaine Frisbee. Who knows? But either way, I roll up a blunt, Cody rolls up a blunt, and now we're chilling. We spark up, and we hit the open highway. And from there, it's pretty much smooth sailing. We don't stop one single time. We just ride all the way down. But as we're going down, we keep getting tired as fuck because Cody and myself, we just didn't sleep for shit. And Josh was really tired too, right? So he ends up gumming some blow, Cody gums some blow, and I gum some blow. And we still had we just kept the duffel in the car. We never got out and put it back, right? Which was kind of dumb of us. We probably should have done that. But we were just kind of like, fuck it, you know, whatever. Because from what Cody's brother had told us, he said the drive down, he never saw any cops, which the guy must have been lying. Every time I drive, like, between where I used to live and here, I see 10 million police officers. But maybe he's just fucking baked out of his mind every time. But either way, so we're cruising down there, and we're getting nice and stoned, cruising some blunts, bumping some music, trying to play games to keep us awake. And Josh is getting horny, bro. We're sitting there, and we're just talking, and Josh, like, we're playing, like, Fuck, Marry, Kill, and Josh just starts talking about, like, Tinder. He's like, man, I can't wait to get down there and get some Tinder hoes. And you see, Josh had a problem where, like, he just couldn't stop talking about women, but, like, it was really weird. Like, it was to the point of being strange. He wouldn't say shit like, oh, I could go for, I could go for a little lady right now. I could go for some head. He'd say, like, oh, I wish I had a girl to cuddle with right now. And, like, shit, like, he'd say that out loud to his homies, like, to us. And we'd be like, what, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Like, he really acted a fool about it. And it was, like, it was kind of cringe, dude. It was really concerning. Like, I don't use that word lightly. I don't ever use that word. So when I say that, I really mean it. Like, this guy was just kind of weird, and I was starting to realize that the more I talked to him one-on-one. Like, I guess I just hadn't spoken to him enough in the past to really catch on to this until now. But either way, we're chilling and kind of going through our day here. And I'm just chatting with him a little more, kind of trying to figure out, more about him. Because we have nothing to do but just blow time while we drive down there, right? And, Josh is just... I couldn't learn anything about him besides the fact that he was really wanted a girlfriend really bad in like a weird way. That's all he talked about the whole ride down. Maybe it was the cocaine that was making him a little horny. Like maybe just gumming little bits of coke to keep him awake was just kind of making him a little torque. But like, I don't know, dude. He was just acting weird. And Cody was he was like, dude, what's wrong? He was like, why are you being so horny right now? Cody's like, why are you being so weird? He's like, I'm not, man. He's like, I really want some more. And I remember Cody and I were just dying, dude. We're like, what is wrong with you, bro? Like, but at first it was kind of funny. At first him being like this was still kind of like a novelty. It was kind of funny. It wore off very quickly, though. Like, he just kind of became like that weird roommate really fast. But either way, so we're cruising down and we finally make it down. We pull up to this house, and you see, I paid the deposit sight unseen. I'd never been to this house. I'd only looked it up on Google Maps. They didn't even show pictures of it. And we walk into this house, and I look at Cody, and Cody's got this look on his face. And I want to start laughing so bad. Because, A, the house is already pretty dirty to begin with. Like, we spent, like the first, hour cleaning this shit. Right? But nevertheless, I just look over at Cody, and Cody's just got this look on his face where he's just about to laugh too. And I'm just like, oh, what have we gotten ourselves into, bro? And I'm looking around, and wake up! Okay. There's just... the whole house is on a slant. There's no, lighting in here. A lot of houses have, at least, some sort of ceiling light, right? Or some sort of, light that's built into the house. None. I didn't even consider that. I guess that was kind of my fault, but, I don't know. I didn't even consider that. It was just dark everywhere in here, except for upstairs. There was, 3 light bulbs plugged in. So we all slept upstairs the first night, right? Because the loft was huge. But either way, we get into this house, and we're looking around, and we get settled, right? We're unloading all our shit to the car. There's no driveway, so we have to park up in the street, right? And we're unloading all of our shit. And I of course, I go have Cody's older brother run up to the liquor store with me to get us some liquor to get drunk for the night, right? So after we finish unloading, Cody's older brother and I go do that, and I'm just chatting with him a little bit. I'm like, hey, thanks for the help. Appreciated all that,
Didn't expect that,
and he cruises up, right? And also, I know I might get asked this in the comments. I mentioned in a stream that this guy, Cody's older brother, actually got locked up. This was just prior to that. This was a month before he actually got locked up. He was already sentenced at this point, but it didn't begin. He didn't have to actually turn himself in until a month after this, right? But either way, back on topic here. So. I'm not sure exactly how it worked, but either way, he didn't actually have to go until a month after. I don't know if he was fully sentenced, but I think he knew what he was gonna get, for sure. And what he thought he was gonna get is what he got, as far as I'm aware. But either way, back on topic here. So we're cruising, and we go over to the liquor store, and we grab a couple bottles of Syrah, right? I'm trying to celebrate, so I grab 2 bottles of Syrah, right? And we get back there, right? And we're all chilling out, dude. We're all just hanging out in the house, sitting on the floor, and we're happy, bro. Despite the fact that there's no furniture in this bitch, we're happy as